Okay. So here the exercise number 1.3. Okay, remember this exercise number 1.3 as taking log on both the side. Okay, remember this exercise as taking log on both the side. Okay, now when you will come to know that, sir, when we have to take log on both the side, as I had explained the chain rule concept. In the chain rule, as I told, whenever the x is replaced by some other term, that time what exactly you have to use? You have to use the chain rule concept. So here also there is some fundamental that you have to remember. Okay, after that only you have to take log on both the side. Okay, you cannot take for any sum, you cannot take directly taking log on both the side. Okay, so you can remember this exercise 1.3 as taking log on both the side. Okay, so basically why we use this concept taking log on both the side? Whenever you see a function raised to function, what do you mean by function raised to function? Okay, so here can you see this example number 1 and example number 2? This is called function raised to function. So the meaning of function raised to function is what? As there are 5 functions, yes or no? First one is log, then inverse, algebraical, trigo, and exponential. When one function is there and the power is also a second function, okay, logarithm raised to algebraical, or algebraical raised to logarithm, or algebraical raised to trigo, trigo raised to algebraical, this pattern is known as what? Function raised to function. So whenever there is a function raised to function, see to that we cannot apply any derivative formulas, like here the first example. To focus on the first example, it says that x raised to x. Now you cannot say that this x raised to s, sir, this x raised to x look like x raised to n. But we know that n is what? It is a constant over there. Can you see any constant here? No. X is a variable. X is also a function, which is known as algebraical function. X, variable x is an algebraical function, remember. So here the function format is what? Algebraical raised to algebraical. In the second example, x is algebraical and tan is what? Trigo. So here the function raised to function is what? Algebraical raised to trigo. So when you will see the formulas, derivative formulas, there are 21, 22 formulas, yes or no? There you cannot see the formula for derivative of x raised to n. We don't have any formula like derivative of x raised to n, even derivative of x raised to tan x, yes or no? And don't say that, sir, this look like x raised to n, so we can apply x raised to n formula. No, here n is constant, and here in place of n, it is not n, it is a function. Okay, so whenever you come across function raised to function, okay, see to that you have to think that the question, it is from the exercise number 1.3, and in the 1.3 we have to use the concept called as taking log on both the side. So here the first thing, how you will come to know that we have to take log on both the side? The first thing, function raised to function. Second, this taking log, basically it is applicable only for multiplication and division terms. Means suppose there are 2 terms, and if there it is multiplication or division, then only we can apply taking log on both the side. If suppose in between the 2 function there is plus or minus, we cannot use the concept taking log on both the side. So whenever you see plus or minus in between the terms, so there the concept it is little different. Remember this, okay? So here it is only applicable for whenever the connection between the term is multiplication and division. Okay, and the last one, whenever you see bulk term, bulk means many terms, many functions. Okay, so you consider, suppose in a particular question, if you have more than 2 terms, consider it as a bulk term. So here I will explain one, I will show one example. Yes, consider this example as a bulk term. Yes or no? Clearly we can see that x plus 1 the whole square is there, then x plus 2 the whole cube, x plus 3 raised to 4 it is there. So here x plus 1 is a complete one term, x plus 2 the whole cube it is the second term, and x plus 3 the whole raised to 4 is the third term. So here we can see that here we have more than 2 terms. So consider whenever you see more than 2 terms, consider it as a bulk term. Okay, so here got the idea when to take log on both the side. Very simple concept. Whenever you see function raised to function, then multiplication and division between the two terms for a function raised to function, or else a bulk term. Okay, so these are the example. Sir, suppose in between if plus and minus come, so why we cannot take the concept of taking log on both the side? Okay, so that part I will explain here. Suppose we'll consider this as the example. Suppose that the connection between here it is multiplication, here division, plus and minus. So let's take log on both the side. Let's check out what will happen if we take log on both the side. If we take log on both the side, if we take log on both the side, if we take log on both the side for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and why it is applicable only for multiplication and division, that also you will come to know now. So why we cannot use the concept taking log for addition and subtraction. Okay, so here this log y will keep as it is. Here clearly we can see that this look like a property log a into b, yes or no? So multiplication, it will get convert into addition, yes or no? Yes. After this we can able to solve the sums. Log y, here this part look like division, so division it will get converted into what? Subtraction. Yes, here also we can able to do the sum further. But here we don't have any property like log a plus b. Is there we have any property for log a plus b? We cannot do the bracket open like log a plus log b. This property we cannot use like this, yes or no? We cannot use we cannot do the bracket open. So clearly we can see that we don't have any formula in the properties log where we can solve the sum further for log a plus b. Check out the previous video as I had shared the video in the Google Classroom. So there just go and check. Is there any property with respect to log a plus b? No, we cannot apply any property after this, even for log a minus b also. Okay, so from this we come to the conclusion that the taking log it is only applicable when the connection between the term it is multiplication or division. Whenever it is plus and minus, we cannot do taking log on both the side directly. So their concept it is little different. So that part we'll see afterwards. So let's begin with the first example now. Okay. So let's take the first example. Okay, so let's take the first example now. Okay, so here the first example, clearly we can see that y equals to x raised to x. Okay, so as per the rule, whenever there is function raised to function, whenever there is a bulk term or multiplication division between the terms, okay, so we can use this concept, yes or no? So here the first step, as clearly we can see that here is function raised to function. So the first step, what you will do, first you have to check it is whether it is function raised to function or bulk term. Yes, it is function raised to function. After this, taking log on both the side, you will use the concept. So here we'll write taking log on both side. Okay. So after taking log on both the side, let's see what will happen. So log y equals to log x raised to x. Okay. After this, it says that apply the suitable log property. Apply the suitable log property. Apply the suitable log property. Yes, this part clearly we can see that it look like the property log a raised to m. So as we know that log a raised to m, the power we can bring down. So m into log a. So here we'll apply this property. X will come down. Okay. So here multiplication will come and then log x. Understood? The first step, you have to check whether it is function raised to function or a bulk term. Okay. Then after that only you will take a log on both the side and see to that it is applicable only for multiplication division term. Whenever you see plus and minus between the terms, you cannot take log on both the side. Remember this. For that, the concept is different. So that part I will explain afterwards. The third step is what? Apply the suitable log property. Yes, just check out. Yes, we can use this property. Yes, done. After that only, adjustment with respect to the log property. As in the last lecture, we took almost 5 to 6 example based on the properties of log. There I had explained how to do the adjustment first and then do the derivative. Remember, whenever the sum is based on log, you have to first do the adjustment with respect to the log property and you derivate afterwards. So with respect to this, what will happen? It will reduce the step as well as the confusion, and when you will see the backside answer, you will get the perfect answer. Remember this. Always you do the adjustment first and then derivate whenever the sum it is based on log. Okay, so after this, as clearly we can see that we cannot do any further adjustment with respect to log property. We cannot do any further adjustment as per my view. Just check out whether you can see any property we can apply after this step. I guess I cannot use any property based on log. Okay. After this, it says that we have to use the derivative with respect to x. So here we'll use the concept derivative with respect to x. Okay. So here we have to find the derivative of log y. Just check out derivative of log y is what? Log y. Log y. We know that derivative of log x is what? 1 upon x. Here use the chain rule, chain rule. So log y will be what? 1 upon y, but x is replaced by some other term. So derivative of y will be what? We know that it is dy by dx. So directly remember, whenever you have to find the derivative of log y, straight away you write 1 upon y into dy by dx. Yes or no? Remember this. Okay. Understood? Okay. So here we have to find the derivative of log y equals to derivative of x into log x. Okay. Now, so as just now only I had explained, derivative of log y, you can buy it like this directly, 1 upon y into dy by dx. Just now only I had explained how you got this 1 upon y into dy by dx using the chain rule. Okay. Now just focus on the right hand side. Check out in the bracket how many terms are there. There are 2 terms. What is the connection? Multiplication. So whenever we have 2 terms, multiplication, and then we have to find the derivative. Whenever we have 2 terms and the connection is multiplication, and then we have to find the derivative. Okay, so which concept it will come, which property it will come? U into v rule. Okay, u into v. So here u into v, by using u into v, you will find the derivative of that section. Okay, so we know that what is u into v. Okay, so that is u into derivative of v. Yes or no? I hope you all might be knowing these basic properties. Okay, then v into derivative of u. Okay, so after this we'll keep this x part as it is. Derivative of log x, we know that it is 1 upon x plus log x. It will be same as it is, and derivative of x is what? 1. After this, clearly we can see that this we can cancel because here we have the common term. So you'll be left with 1 plus log x into 1. Here you will get log x. Okay, so therefore 1 upon y into dy by dx. Okay, so after finding the derivative, as I told, after finding the derivative, the last step is what? You have to shift y on the right hand side. You have to shift y on the right hand side to get the final answer. You have to shift the y on the right hand side. Okay, so here we'll keep dy by dx as it is, and you have to shift y on the right hand side. So this part will write inside the bracket. Okay, and in the last step, you have to replace the value of y, resubstitute the value. Resubstitute the value means y, it was, we took y as what? Y as x raised to x. Y is what? X raised to x. So in place of y, you will write x raised to x. Okay, so here we got the final answer, that is dy by dx. Okay, now remember why we have to shift this y on the right hand side, because we have to find the derivative with respect to x. So whenever you find derivative with respect to x, see to it that in the right hand side, whole and sole section, it should be in terms of x only. Wherever you see y, you have to convert that y also in terms of x, because here we are finding what? Derivative with respect to x. It means what? Derivative with respect to x means what? In the right hand side, the whole section, it should get converted into x. So that's why I shifted this y to the right hand side, and then I resubstitute the value of y as x raised to x. So this is what we do in the exercise number 1.3 while dealing the sums based on taking log on both the side. Okay, so as I told, remember this exercise as taking log on both the side exercise. Okay, just remember this 6 step, that's it. So in the first step, you have to check whether the particular question, it is function raised to function or a bulk term, or the connection between it is multiplication or division. When the connection is addition and subtraction, see that we cannot do the taking log on both the side concept. We cannot use the concept. Okay. Then after that, after guessing it is a function raised to function bulk term, then straight away start with the step taking log on both the side. After taking log on both the side, the step number 3, apply the suitable log property. After applying the suitable log property, why we have to apply the suitable log property? Why we have to do this? Just to do the adjustment with respect to the log property, and then after that only you do the derivative. Because I had explained, when you do this 2-step, first adjustment, then derivative, it will reduce the steps as well as the confusion also. Okay. Then after that, after derivating with respect to x, by derivative of log x directly as 1 upon y into dy by dx. How you got this? Log y equals to 1 upon y into dy by dx using the chain rule. Okay. Then after that, in the last step, you have to shift the y on the right hand side and then resubstitute the value of y. That's it. Then you have to stop your answer. After that, there is no need to do any further adjustment. Just simply you have to shift y, resubstitute the value of y, and then keep as it is. There is no need to do any cancellation, any addition, division. Okay, no bracket open. You can stop your answer. That's it. Okay, when you will see the backside answer, so this will be the perfect answer. So this is what we do in the exercise number 1.3. Understood the first example? So let's take the second one. Okay. Okay, so now focus on the second one. Okay. So the first step, we have to check whether it is function raised to function or not. Yes, clearly we can see that here it is function raised to function. So we know that whenever it is function raised to function, we can use the concept taking log on both sides. So I hope now it is clear that when we have to use taking log on both the side, very simple, whenever you see function raised to function, because we don't have any derivative, direct derivative of function raised to function. Yes or no? Direct derivative means what? If I say x raised to n, we have direct derivative n into x raised to n minus 1. If I say log x, we have the direct derivative, but we don't have direct derivative for a function raised to function. So whenever you come across function raised to function, remember it is your exercise number 1.3. And what we do in the exercise number 1.3, we use the concept called as checking log on both the side. And whenever you take log on both the sides, see to that somewhere you have to use the property of log. So here you have to remember the properties of log also. Okay, as I told, the properties of log, it will play an important role in the first exercise also, in 1.3 also. Okay, so after this, we'll take log on both the side. Log on both the side. Okay, just check which property we can use. Yes, this part again, clearly we can see that this look like log a raised to m, which we can write as m into log a. And see to it that in board exam also you have to mention the properties, the formulas. Okay, whatever the property formula you will be using for that particular sum, as the reason you have to mention that section on the right hand side, as we used to do in 10th standard, 9th standard in algebra geometry. Yes, sir. Okay, so here clearly we can see that the power will come down then into log x. Okay, then done with the second step. Okay, then after that, third, apply the suitable formula. Then after that, it is derivative with respect to x. Okay, derivative with respect to x. So derivative, we have to find the derivative now. Derivative of here, it is log y equals to log, sorry, derivative of tan x into log x. Okay, then after this, as I told, remember the direct derivative of log y as 1 upon y into dy by dx. How you got this 1 upon y into dy by dx? Using the chain rule. Yes or no? Now here we have to find the derivative of this two term, and the connection is multiplication. So we know that this part look like a derivative of u into v. So what is u into v? U into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. Yes or no? Okay, so here we will apply the property here. So u into derivative of log x plus log x into derivative of tan x. Yes or no? Okay, so after this, we'll keep this tan x as it is. Derivative of log x, yes, clearly we can say that derivative of log x, we have ready-made derivative of log x, it is 1 upon x. And we cannot use the chain rule also, because in place of x, it is x only. Yes or no? Whenever you see x is replaced by some other term, that time only you will use the chain rule concept. Okay, plus log x into, now here we have to find the derivative of tan x. Derivative of tan x is what? Sec square x. Yes or no? Okay, so after this, tan x into 1 upon x, here this we can write as tan x upon x. We cannot cancel this x, remember. Okay, and this will be log x into sec square x. As clearly we can see that the functions are different. So whenever the functions are different, we cannot add, we cannot multiply, we cannot do division also. Okay, you have to keep the term as it is. Okay, after that, what I told in the last sum, you have to shift y on the right hand side. After shifting the y on the right hand side, you have to resubstitute the value of y. So what is y over there? It is x raised to tan x, and this will be tan x upon x plus log x into sec square x. Okay, so after this, there is no need to do bracket open, bracket expand, cross multiplication, nothing. You have to stop your answer. Okay, so in this way, you have to present your sum in the board exam for the exercise number 1.3. So 1.3 exercise is what? taking log on both the side. And when it is applicable, whenever you see function raised to function or a bulk term, or whenever you see a function raised to function and the connection between them, it is multiplication and division. Whenever it is plus and minus, we cannot use the concept taking log on both the side. I hope the example number first and second, it is clear. So this is what we do in the exercise number 1.3 while using the concept of taking log on both the side. Okay. So don't worry, I'm recording this video and after the lecture, I will share the video on the Google Classroom. Okay. So still, if you have any doubt, you can go and watch the video one more time. Okay, so let's move on to the next example. Okay, example. So let's take now bulk term. Okay, bulk one. Okay, so now let's see. Whenever you see a bulk term, so what exactly we have to do? Whenever you see bulk means what? Consider in this exercise, bulk means whenever the term it is more than 2, consider it as a bulk term. Yes, sir. So here, so first step will be what? First you will take let. Why let? Because on the left hand side, y it is not there. So we'll take let y as x plus 1 the whole square. As I told, whenever y it is not given, so you will start your sum from let. Don't write directly as y. Okay, so here clearly we can see that here we have the bulk term. If you want, you can use the concept u by v also, but see to that it will take too much time to get the answer. Okay, too much time, as you will use the derivative of u by v directly. Okay, so the best way is what? We'll take log, taking log on both side, taking log on both side. So therefore log y equals to log x plus 1 the whole square upon x plus 2 the whole cube x plus 3 raised to 4. Okay, so therefore log y equals to this part. Clearly we can see that this look like log just will replace the value x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3 by some other alphabet to make the concept more easy. Okay, so we know that in the numerator we have only one term, so it will goes with plus symbol, and denominator we know that it will go with a negative symbol. Yes or no? This all the things I had explained in the last lecture. Okay, so here we can write this as what? Log x plus 1 the whole square minus log x plus 2 the whole cube minus log x plus 3 raised to 4. Yes or no? I hope this you all might be knowing. This all thing I had explained in the last lecture. Okay, yes or no? After this, we'll keep this part as it is, and clearly we can see that one more step we can extend with respect to the property of log using log a raised to m, which we can write as m into log a. Yes or no? So here the 2 will come down. 2 into log x plus 1 minus 3 into log x plus 2 minus 4 into log x plus 3. And basically this types of sum actually we had seen in the last lecture. Yes or no? 3-4 sums we did based on the bulk terms. Yes or no? In the last lecture. So after this, once it is done, apply the suitable formula. As I told, apply the suitable formula based on the property of log. After that, if you feel we can do any further adjustment with respect to property of log, then go ahead. Or else, if you don't feel that we cannot use any property of log further, then straight away you have to derivative. So derivative with respect to x. So here we know that log y will be 1 upon y. Yes or no? Log y will be 1 upon y dy by dx. Okay. As we know that 2 is constant, and whenever constant it is attached to any function, see to that you have to keep the constant as it is. Okay. Keep the constant as it is and simply find the derivative of the neighborhood term. So clearly we can see that here it is log x, but x is replaced by some other term. So here we'll use the chain rule concept. X is replaced by some other term. And we did many sum based on chain rule. So at least now you must be perfect when to use the chain rule, how to use, how to apply, and how to find the answer. The chain rule concept, it is very simple. Whenever x is replaced by some other term, you have to use chain rule concept. Okay. Guess the formula, derivate. Guess the formula, derivate. Okay. Then after that, see x is replaced by some other term and you have to derivate that x part also. Then here minus will keep 3 as it is. Then again same, this look like log x, but x is replaced by some other term. So we'll use the chain rule concept into d upon dx of x plus 2. 4 is constant, we'll keep as it is 4. Okay. Log x, again this look like log x. So 1 upon x plus 3 into d upon dx of x plus 3. Okay. So in the next step, 1 upon y will keep as it is, dy by dx also. This we can write as 2 upon x plus 1 into, there are two terms and the connection is plus and minus. So derivative of x is 1 and derivative of 1 is what? 0. This we can write as 3 upon x plus 2 into, there are two terms and the connection is plus minus. So derivative of x is 1 and derivative of 2 is what? Constant. So it is 0. 4 upon x plus 3. Again, there are two terms in the bracket. Derivative of x is 1 and derivative of 3 is constant. So it will be 0. So the final step, this will be what? 2 upon x plus 1. Here it will be 3 upon x plus 2. And here it will be 4 upon x plus 3. Yes or no? Because 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1 2 side is 2. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 3 side is 3. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 4 side is 4. And anyhow, we did many sums based on this types of sum in the last lecture. Okay, we did many sum based on the bulk term in the last lecture. So that's why I'm doing the sum quickly. Okay, I'm explaining the each and every step quickly. So after this, we know that what exactly we have to do. Shift the y on the right hand side and then resubstitute the value. So here, what is y? It is x plus 1 the whole square upon x plus 2 the whole cube, x plus 3 raised to 4, and this part you will keep as it is. Okay, so according to the concept, we have to shift y on the right hand side, resubstitute the value of y, and then you have to stop your answer. There is no need to do bracket expansion, bracket open, cross multiplication, nothing like that. Okay, stop your answer, that's it. Okay, so this is what we do whenever you see bulk term. Okay, I hope you all understood this sum also. The concept is very simple. Whenever you see function raised to function or a bulk term, straight away apply taking log on both side. Okay, and see to that, as I told, property of log, it will play an important role in the exercise number 1.3 also. So please remember all that 12 13 formulas which was there in the properties of log. You must know when we have to use a perfect suitable formula for a particular step. Okay, after that adjustment only, do the derivative. Don't do the derivative directly and do the adjustment afterwards. Okay, first always you have to do the adjustment with respect to the log property and then derivate. So with the help of this, what will happen? It will reduce the step as well as reduce the confusion also, and you will get the perfect backside answer. Because backside answer, it is arranged with respect to adjustment and then derivative. Okay, just have a look. So we had completed the sums based on function raised to function as well as bulk term also. So now we'll see in the next lecture, whenever there is plus and minus between the term, what we have to do. So whether we can use the concept taking log on both the side or not. Okay, so now we had completed function raised to function as well as the bulk term also. Just have a look. Check out, is there any doubt in any step?